Happy New Year, everyone! I decided that we need some positivity with how the world is right now, so here are 3 Jester games just for you. Hope you enjoy! In this game we get Witch Knight 1. Hope you like it! Okay, so we have Wholesome Yuri, which is me, number 7 on the list. There is number 9, Wholesome Yuri. There is number 11, Toxic Yuri. And there is number 12, Toxic Yuri. I say bread. 10 says time power, TP lookout. 9 says 7, why couldn't we be neighbors like Toxic Yuri and Toxic Yuria? I say, I know, right? Okay, so I've had enough games where I play as a subtle hidden jester, and as a result I'm usually a kingmaker in the end game. And you know, after a while you get bored of it, so I'm going to be a little more aggro. Maybe I will get the achievement of haunting a revealed mayor, because it's been a while since I've tried getting it, so let's try to get it in this video. And I get Witch Knight 1, and since there is no attack message, Witch doesn't have book. Rest in peace to 6, the tavern keeper. They were killed by the coven. They drank with 4, Canadian guy, so 4 doesn't have Necronomicon. Then again, there are rolls that are immune to rollblock. I say Witched, 4 claims rollblocked. 12 says that they went on me for good vision, and me and O6 are good. I say which game? 12 says everyone claim. 1 says 14 and 10, what are you whispering about? 3 claims TP, 2 claims TP, 1 claims TK. 10 says Monarch, gonna let me cook. And 10 was knighted, the name is Doomsayer. 3 says cool, we chain 2. 8 says pirate, but you want to keep me around. 2 says sure 3. 8 says 2 out of the 3 of them are coven. 10 says oh, 14 asked if I was fine. And 14 claimed tracker that 13 went to 10. 1 says okay. 3 says 8 landlubbers. 4 claims TS. Let's write down the claims. 4 claims town support. 12 claims, 11 claims TP, 8 claims pirate, 3 claims TP, 4 says TS, I was rollback as well, I was looking at bowling balls, so let's response. 10 says 3 claim admirer, 2 says 8 drop landlubbers, 8 says targets jinx, psychic, necro, 3 says okay, good landlubbers, 13 says Ina, get more rolls. And for some reason 5 guilted that. Ten says what's your obsession for? 12 says why did 5 guilty? 4 claims TP. 4 says TP. 5 says I guilted. 10 says I want 4 back up. 13 says 7 posted already. 5 says I'm stupid. 8 says 12 says 8 claim. 3 says vote for time. 10 says TK on 4. 15 didn't. 15 says that 4 changed claims, but 4 answered the question about the obsession, so they have a TP obsession. Should we claim tracker? Then again, Jester is the best TI, so maybe we shouldn't claim TI, you know? Because for some reason Jester gets accurate results when they claim 10 investigative. So 15 is psychic, 1 is TK, 2 is TP. That's a lot of time protectives. Nice, I didn't get attacked. Then again, maybe it would be good to get attacked so that Green Roll knows that I'm immune and they would push me. Rest in peace to 5, the baker. They were killed by a jinx, so we have multiple box, good to know. So 10 is probably not Coven, but they could write fake results, you know. They could lie about their visits, so it's not a guarantee. 10 was Core Runner, they were killed by the Coven. So I think Jinx has book. And the Monarch Knight hit 14. 14 says 4, target visited, nobody. 12 says Evil Vision. 8, 10, 15. I might be blind, but I think 13 needs to claim. 15 says I was roblocked, so poison again. 14 says 4 is not visiting. 8 says got a witch on me now. 3 says 8 is fake. I say okay, so 13 claim please. I say why is 8 fake? 9 says 15 necromancer. Might have also tavern keep on you. 12 says 13 needs to claim. 13 says it should be obvious what I am. I say could be a necro game, yes. 3 says fake landlubbers. 15 says pirate is real. 8 says jinx necro are 2 out of 3 targets. 2 says yeah no. I say pirate is real, IMO. 8 says no it's not 3, shh. 4 says I visited. 14 says 4 has not been visiting as an admirer claim. 4 claims that they checked 11 and they're not their obsession. 8 says I call it out right up front. 4 says I visited, so this tracker be capping these what? I say yeah, admin visits when looking for obsession. 2 says 8 is not hard to guess, you know. 3 says 7, what's your role? 1 says from one Canadian to another, you let me down, mate. I say I'm psychic, decided to hide. 14 says 10 died, which makes TPs seem fake. I say with pirate around and all. 4 says actually insane. 11 is still fake. 1 says no TPs for you. 14 says considering any no Roblox TPs, let 10 die. 15 says if this is real, 14 is fake and 1 is real. My knight 1 will. And 4 was Soul Collector. I whispered to pirate, I am not Psy by the way, so please don't hurt me. 15 says tracker real. Okay, I'm gonna piss some people off with not posting the results. I know I said earlier that Jesters are also not being TIs, but Psychic is not a really trusted claim, especially when you don't post your results at all. You know, you just rage bait everyone into guilting you. And I didn't get attacked. Nice. As an evil, you have to communicate with other evils. So that's what I did. Okay, so rest in peace to 15, the Psychic. They were killed by the Coven. I'm surprised Pirate didn't go for them. Free says, we help you. I say, thank you so much. 12 says, good vision. 14 and 01. 14 says, track 1. I was disgustingly controlled. 3 says, get 8 for us. I say, okay. 8 claims Roblocked. 3 says, 7 is fake, up them. 1 says, oh well, I didn't visit. 2 says, 1, what are you? 1 says, so, I'm TK. 3 says, 7, be honest, what are you? 14 says, cool, 1's a TK, not being controlled, in a witch game. I say, I'm scared. 3 says, say necro. I say, I'm Doomsayer. 14 says, TK is a sus. 1 says, yeah, I don't know why witch hasn't touched me, to be honest. 8 says, that was my one townie, by the way. I say, I give up. I hate Doom. 8 says, so now it's just 2 Coven. 14 says, the people 12 was using makes no sense. 2 says, you ain't Doom. 3 3 says, get 7. 9 says, 7 was reached, weren't they? 1 says, Coven is voting Doom right now. I say, I curse, scroll it. Town also wants me gone, so I don't think Coven pushed me. Two says 8 will. 14 says I don't want this dead at the moment. 3 says 4 faked witch bro, this is Coven killing. 1 says I still feel this is Coven push. As town I'm not too scared of Doom right now. 8 says that I was almost guilty. No. I was pardoned by 3 to 2. 8 says what the fuck is a non-lamber? 14 says why use 8 for an evil vision? 3 says this is Coven bro. 2 says it's DS town. 14 says you're using confusing people. Okay, so 3 is obviously Coven that are pushing me. They're probably the witch. It's funny how I didn't even claim before Coven pushed me. I just said I was witched, I think. Nice, I lived. Rest in peace to the Jinx. They were killed by a Crusader, so Crusader is dead, because Crusader and Jinx attack each other. Rest in peace to 9, the Crusader. So they both went on 14. Fourteen says 3 is Necromancer. I say Crusader on Crusader violence, we love to see it. 14 says we hang 3 today. I say no we don't. 3 says 7. Let us help us get 14. I say let me guess them. 1 says I think 3 is good. 3 says get 14. I say I also think 3 is good, IMO. 8 says Jinx psychic is dead. 14 says we are on your side, 8. 8 says Necro is 3. 14 says town pirate on 3. I say you're a fake pirate then. 8 says no I'm not. I say yes you are. 3 says 7 we hang you tomorrow. Nice. I whisper to 3, is it okay to hang this? 14 says, 7, I Eno'd you. Eno, get 3. 3 says, yes. I say, nice. 1 says, 8 and 14 evil for voting 3, confirmed. 8 says 3 is... 1 says 3 is good. 8 says 3 is not. 14 says 7, Doom 1, 3, 12 Coven. I say, let me guess 3 tonight. 8 says, dude, I'm winning by killing Coven. 14 says, 7, pick 1, 3, 12 as all as Coven. 1 says, why 14? I say, on it. And this was an Exi target. Nice! So probably Coven found out the Exi as well, and that's why they were chill with with saying openly that we have to up 14. It says, ah well, I guess it's a GG. Coven majority. Rest in peace to Pirate, they were killed by the Coven. Obviously they wanted Pirate gun, understandable. I say, dang, I failed my guess. 3 says, we got you 7, we ain't killing you, we hang you. 12 says, 7, we will hang you. I say, oh, thank you. 12 says, we will hang you, it's chill. 11 says, 7, I love you. 11 says, thank you, very wholesome. I say, you're most welcome. I whisper to 3, who do I get? 13 says, how did you not kill a single labber? 12 says, we kept reaching 8. 3 says, whoever you want, 7. 13 says, I see. Three says, switch and roadblock. 3 says, vote 7. I say, well, I tried my best. I hate Doom so much. I just scroll it. 12 says, do we still have a trial after this? 3 says, lol, get me tonight. You're ruining the fun, 3. 3 says, guilty this. Haunt me. 12 says, rip Doom. 3 says, we win. Oh no, 13 E-note, I wanted to haunt them. I say, thank you, Coven, nice working with you. 11 says, thank you. 12 says, we love you, 7. 11 says, wait. 3 says, we got Exit Jester work together. 11 says, nice. I say, chaotic Jester is best in my last will. 12 says, this is so romantic, perfect ending. Toxic Yuri is still alive, so is Toxic Yuri. Rest in peace to 13, I think they were a monarch. And rest in peace to 3 because I had to haunt them since 13 E-note. 3 says GG people. I say GG. 2 says GG. I say thank you for helping me out. That's very wholesome of you. 3 says smooth Coven. Smooth Coven indeed. What is Monarch's last will? What is that? They write about iodine drops. 3 says, as soon as Witch uncovered you and won. 12 says, and the Yoi and the Yuri lived in harmony, and the Yoi and the Yuri walked towards sunset in harmony. Good game. I say, oh, 11, GG. 12 says, GG everyone. Here are all the roles that we've had in this game. Let's jump into another one. In this game we make the town more democratic. Hope you enjoy! Okay, my name is Mushroom Soup and there is a bacon potato soup. Nice! I say, I'm missing Amber. My soup buddy had bacon potato soup says, mushrooms are nasty and slimy. I say, no they aren't, they are lovely. It really depends on the mushroom, to be honest. Oh, and they said, no they are nasty, die. Wow. They are certainly hating mushrooms, but you know, you can hate something, but don't and not say that someone should die for their views on certain type of food, you know. or maybe they're veteran and they're baiting, I don't know. But soup with mushrooms is lovely. When I was like 9, I collected a mushroom in the forest, and then I made a soup with it, and it was good. Too bad that mushroom was small. Eleven says, I robloxed 5. I say grace period. 12 says 9, visited 13. 11 says robloxed 5. I say I was robloxed. 11 says, I think we should get 5. 8 says 14 wasn't robloxed. I say I was robloxed. It's poison again. And there is my there is my reveal. Day 2, which is so risky. Okay, so 8 claims Crusader on me, and that's why they say I couldn't have been robloxed. 6 yells, bring the conch! I say, so we have a PM who shielded the boys. And the mushroom hater is voting me, obviously. And 5 good, and they disconnected? What? 5 was voted up to trial. They say, I already full claim trapper, just guilty. See? Even 8, who's coming with me, gave up. It's so simple. See? 13 gave up too. I say, no, my soup buddy, no, come back. 5 says, we are all going up. 1 yells, claim. To 4, 7, and 9. 12 says, 13 enough if you are silenced. This got guilted, 5 to 0. 5 says, there is no VM. 15 says, 13 is AFK, I think. He's just leaving. And this was a ritualist. Nice! I say 13 could have a bad connection. Salem says, what? I robloxed Coven killing? I can't be poisoner. 6 says, I'm safe. In it? You can't be safe in the town with Jester, because Jester Haunt is an unstoppable astral attack, so that no one can save Maya from being haunted. And I really need that achievement, you know? So maybe let's work on haunting that Maya, who seems to... Maybe they revealed for fun, but you know, when a Maya reveals this early, they have a lot of votes late game, so they direct the whole flow of the game, and it's good when it's a competent player, but sometimes it's not, and it can be very frustrating. Rest in peace to 2, they were stoned. So we have a Medusa. Rest in peace to 3, the Monarch. They were destroyed by a Berserker, so we have a Berserker. They didn't knight 1, which was very good of them, and then they knighted 6, who is obviously confirmed as the revealed Mayor. Sadly, my soup buddy disconnected and didn't reconnect. Mushrooms are fucking nasty, they should be banned. What? Mushrooms are so... There are so many mushrooms with different textures and different tastes. I say that's some mushroom slander from my soup buddy. 15 says 13 claim. 15 says they got robloxed. 11 says robloxed 15, by the way. 1 also asks 13 to claim. 13 claims TP. 15 posted the list of claims and says, alright, I'm YOLOing. 15 says, Tia is gonna be a zzz game. 9 says, pew pew, motherfucker. 15 says, what do you mean YOLOing? 9 says, 13, defense or good. 4 says, pause. Pause. Wasn't there, 6 says, okay, full claims from TS, please. I whispered to 6, sub support here. 15 says 2, full claim. 15 says vote for time, vote for time. 9 says 2 dead. And that's why I don't like having this claim list being completely manual. I prefer the one where it's notes near the players' names. I'm easily provable, sir. 6 knows the role. 15 says full claim to the chat, don't vote. Have one already. 6 says this has claimed to me in whisper, enough for now. 15 says there were 3 full claims yesterday. I said true. I'm scared of dying, so I add that death is best even in death. SMBs to 12, the tracker. They were destroyed by a berserker. And Kevin didn't get a kill, so the Medusa got either roblocked. One says my obsession. Okay, so one is probably a neutral. Let's play along. Oh, nice. 9 says thank you for the drink. 6 says okay, we hang 9. They aren't dead. 11 says roblocked 9. 6 says 12 saw them visit. 11 says and no kills. 9 says oh shock. 9 says I totally forgot about that. 4 says didn't the guy see 9 visit? 15 says 14 full claim. I say I am red. 4 says whoa 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 14. Did you nightmare? Okay, I really need to chat more because I'm 1 out of 3 when it comes to chat box, and yeah, I need to speak more. Nine says death is my name. 6 says full wheel please. 9 says bow, snap, crackle, pop. 9 says oh man, says the ship. I whispered to 6, I am Doom actually. What says 14, don't ignore me. Maya says Eno, Tribunal 14 and 9. 4 says oh. And there is a martial reveal from Vaga Baba Boo Boo. I say, sorry, I whispered to the wrong person. Okay, now I need to say something between the trials so that I fulfill the chatterbox mechanic. Rest in peace to 9. They are probably the Medusa. 4 says, fun thing is 6 can just vote up whoever they want. This is their tribunal now. I say soup is best, by the way. Hehehe, goodbye, Maya. Good luck, Evils. Four says, no, 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 no. 7 says, lol. 9 says, Jester is bestest. 6 says, 10, full claim. 4 says, 6, can I end myself now? What? And sadly, Medusa kept hitting immunes. 6 says, no, 4, protect me or 15. 13 bursts. Please. 1 says, Roblox 13 when? 11 says, I will Roblox him. Okay, so the mayor has to go. They have extra votes from being a revealed mayor, and they have been knighted twice. I say we can't let a dictator rule this town. Nine says, Marshall ruined the fun, man. I know, right? The monarch says, dictatorships are fun, though. They aren't fun. Try living in one. I say, I am so sorry, 9. I am avenging you. Nine says, I'm cheating. Get 15. To be honest, I wanted an achievement and I got it. Anti-town. Haunt a revealed mayor. I say, I needed the achievement. Sorry. 3 says, no. 11. 9 says, all good. 3 says, it's so over. 11 says, I got doomed too. It's probably 1, right? Because 3 says, okay, 10's the doom probes. I'm betting it's 1. Six says, should have been bold and gone for 1 instead of 14. Hey ho, sorry town. 11 says, I mean... 1 says, GG. 11 says, I was pushing 1. I told you. He was fake. I say, another N even. Nice. 1 says, hee hee. 15 says, alright. 11 says, 6, what did I tell you? 6 says, literally everyone was fake. 15 says, so today, 13 and 10 or 7. Okay, 4 is just spamming the keyboard right now. I don't get what they're saying. 6 says, you can't swing a cat in this town without hitting 2 NEs and a cavern. I say, why swing a cat though? 15 says, 10 and 13 today. Six says, because cats need to be evicted. Wow, they hate cats this much? 10 says, I'm back. 4 says, carefully with votes, this will move. 3 says, now why would they go 10 first? 15 says, 13 now. 13 says, see ya. Okay, so 13 was probably the berserker. That would make sense. Rest in peace to 10, the cleric. 7 says, lol. You messed up. 15 says, to be honest, it was my opinion. Yeah, 13 was probably berserker since they got stoned. Nine says, 3-time powers game, crazy, not gonna lie. I say, yeah, 3-time powers is rough for evils. And Marshall is dead. Rest in peace to the Marshal. They were killed by the Coven, they were also doomed by the Doomsayer. One says every game with high town power density has a Doomsayer. Wow, I didn't know that. 9 says true. 7 says Lamau, doubling the chat for Kai. The name is Kai. Everyone says GG. 10 says I hate you. 7 says Lamau. These are all the roles that we've had in this game. Let's jump into another one. In this game we help the Coven by eliminating the Mayor. And I'm number 6 on the list, which means I can quite likely be messed with. 10 says Stamp Power, TP Lookout. 13 says Jailer, I want to have a word with you, and the name is I will kill the Jailer. 4 says I wanna die. 9 says to be honest, some players are so bad I can't. 4 says I'm solo book. 9 says it's so annoying. 10 says TP on me, thanks. Okay, so let's be very chaotic. Let's claim we're a pirate with landlubbers, baker, prosecutor, jailer. I might change the claim later on, because pirate usually gets you into late game if you are careful. And then they sass you because there are no pirate kills. I think I will just claim an alignment first. I will not full claim as pirate because I will be targeted at night, not during the day. Rest in peace to 14. The Crusader. They were killed by the Coven. They went on 1. Valid, because you shouldn't go on TP Lookout, because as a Crusader you will kill more town than evils. "15 says Tracker, Night 1. 12 didn't visit, and there is a Mayor reveal. I see, they are going for maximum amount of votes. 12 says 1 Poise, 4 Necro, 12 CL, 13 Ritualist. I lagged before I could say that. 11 says TS here. 13 says Mayor, nice. 7 says I was roblocked. 8 says 12 is fake. 12 says how. 4 says at least bread would be fun. I'm Soul Collector. 8 says 12 is did 1. Crusader went on 1. True. 1 says 12 I'm not poisoner, you failed at this. I say TK here. 8 says so you claim Coven. I say get 12 for this. 12 says I'm saying 1 is poisoner. 1 says yeah, get 12. I say they outed their team. And there is a Marshal reveal. That's a lot of town power already. And we can even get 1 more because of the town power cap being 3. It was sadly I was Doom and not Jester. Unlucky. Eight says, alright, I didn't even think of Jester. 3 claims TS. I say, what kind of play is that? 7 says TB, by the way, was Roblox. 1 claims BG. Why would you open claim BG? I'm BG. Ah, I'm dead. For says still Soul Collector. I'm not even gonna try, man. It's kind of throwing. 12 was Doomsayer. 4 says no visitors, please. 13 says Tribunal feels silly there, Imo. And 1 was an actual bodyguard. 4 says I'm antisocial. "13 says 12 was lying pretty obviously. 15 says yeah, I don't know about that. 9 says stupid Coven. Was that a bait? I don't think Coven is gonna fall for this. Sorry, 9. Let's say that 1 was not a landlubber, attacked and saved by a barrier, And they will be sus of me for not saying that I was saved, and I don't think someone would claim to save me. Let's go with that. And let's pretend that we discovered 8 and say Soul Collector is lying, there's a baker. I wasn't attacked. I still have defense, but next night I'm gonna be scared. Rest in peace to 7. The Hex Master. They were killed by a Crusader, so we have either another Crusader or there is a rat. Rest in peace to 11, the Retributionist. They were killed by the Covenant, so probably this rat used Crusader. Yep, they used it on 10, so Hex went for the Mayor with the Crusader in the graveyard. Maybe they thought that they're safe. 13 says Knight 2-2 row-blocked. 15 says 7 visited 10. 9 says Clutch Retry. I see W red. 15 says for real. 10 says real. 9 says 13, what were you? 13 says, wait, I didn't mean to post will. Thirteen claims TP. Sorry, messed up a bit. 9 says 4 claimed solo poke. 2 says, wait, what are you? 4 says, anyone want some tea? Cause I'm making some. 2 says, should I use my other tribunal? I say, if they are Soul Collector, they are not a threat right now. Why would you up Soul Collector when there is only one Coven in the graveyard as a townie? I'm confused. 4 says, like I said, I'm solo Soul Collector. I'm not visiting. I have 2 passive souls. Okay, they're throwing. 4 says, sort out your town problems. 10 says, fair, we can Inno this, I reckon. 13 says, do we have any other leads? 9 says, Inno for time, to be honest. 10 says, 9, what were you? 8 says, what did 3 claim? 9 claims TK, 3 claims TS. Nine says 3 full claim. 3 claims Tavern Keeper. Well, that makes sense with people claiming row-blocked. Yeah, 4 claims Soul Collector. 3 says I row-blocked 7 and 13. 10 says will. 15 says were you the one that row-blocked 13? 3 says Tavern Keeper, Night 1, 7, Night 2, 13. 8 says Inno. 15 says checks out. 13 says I was row-blocked last night. 10 says KK Inno. Okay, 8 didn't claim. 9 says we should still hang the SC claim if we don't hang anyone else. 13 says what's 9 by the way? 8 says we have nothing to go on. 9 claims TK. 15 says just vote for time at least. 8 says 9 claims TK. 9 says vote. That was slow, says 15. Okay, we better not get attacked here. And I was roll-blocked. Makes sense because I have a typically evil behavior. So I'm not surprised I got roll-blocked. Rest in peace to 13. There was another Crusader. I thought, oh, okay. They went on 10. I say I was rollblocked. 15 says 13 visited 10. That's non-in for 15. Eight says that would make sense. 4 says still chilling at home. I say I'm town support. 4 says how are you all doing? 9 says what? 8 says who asked 6? 9 says didn't you claim TK before? 10 says 6 post will. I say do we have any leads? 9 says yep. 8 says that was a weird claim 6. 9 says 6 claimed TK first, now claiming TS. 15 says 6 you claimed TK. 8 says oh he claimed TK first. 15 says I say with tribunal. Not gonna lie, I'm getting tired of everyone saying he. I think like 1/3 of the players are women, around that amount, or maybe 1/4, but still, you shouldn't call everyone here. I say this is a coven push, I'm not evil, they're trying to mislynch me. 15 says we have 4 who had a really slow vote, which makes me think he's coven trying to act like a pog, and 6 who is switching alignments. 3 says no ritualist, so full claim is safe, unless hidden doomsayer. 10 says I pushed you 6 love Mao. I'm coven? 10 says guilty this. Okay, I got a note because they're going to tribunal, which is great because I will be free to choose whoever I want to haunt. I say I'm getting 10. Good luck, evils. 7 says don't know. 13 says I'm pretty sure it's 5. 15 says donation. 7 says 6 you legend. I say thank you, thank you. 4 says I never told a lie, I hope that counted for something. 13 says good job 6. 11 says what do you mean 7? 7 says yeah, get the mayor, he's got too many votes. 8 says why? Wait, why did we get the NA claim when there is only 1 coven dead? 7 says tomorrow he insta-votes. I say I wanna help evils, so 10 has to go. 7 says legend. 15 says I thought it was coven cause a slow vote. 8 says he claimed NA. 15 says 11 says 6 stop selling. 10 says up 15 he's sassy. 7 says so you're haunting 10? I say yes. 13 says 7 is 5 coven. "13 says don't let 7 tell you who to haunt 6. 7 says don't know. I say I chose it myself. 13 says go off your own accord. Go wild. Okay, so 3 and 10 are dead. 11 says 6 you suck. 7 says 6 the goat. 3 says to be honest we should went with someone then 4. I say I'm neutral evil, I'm not town lol. Rest in peace to 3 the tavern keeper. 13 says I would be shocked if 5 isn't coven. 11 says you already win, why you need to ruin town? 7 says 5, 8, 15 coven. Happy? 10 Jester's haunt overrides any protection. 3 says I figure 15 was fake. 13 says yeah that makes sense. 5 says oof. 9 says oof. 15 says foo. 8 says who wants to marry the bachelor? Number 9. 2 says so who are we voting now? 9 says coven majority. 13 says coven majority now. 7 says they will hang the veteran then kill 2. 13 says sad. 3 says 9 and E. 5 says so 9 bad. 15 9 says 15 is evil. 15 says TK but didn't do Flammery. 8 says 9 is super bad. 9 says hasn't posted a good result. 9 says get 15 if you're town, otherwise covered majority. 15 says 9 is fake. 8 says 9 you got nothing in your will. 5 says yeah get 15. 9 says get 15 if you're town. And 9 got upped because it's covered majority by now. 9 says oh well. Did we have 0 TIs? 15 says cruise visited, night fun, you're fake lol. 2 says yeah I'm screwed. 8 says you were just a better veteran. 5 says covered majority, yeah GG. 9 says yeah unfortunate. 5 says bad veteran. 8 says super bad veteran. 5 says you were screwed since day 2, I was violin. 9 says ah. 15 says worst vet baiting I've ever seen. Sure. That was unlucky for 9. Not everyone is good at baiting evils. 2 says let me go in my sleep lol. I just realized when I was a kingmaker, when it comes to endgame, and there were multiple times I helped a Pogwin, I should have haunted one of the horsemen, because that's a hidden achievement free from guilt. Haunt someone who cannot die. Rest in peace to the marshal. They were killed by the coven. Whoever killed me is gay, sorry, but that's how it works. That's homophobic. You shouldn't use gay as an insult. I say congrats on your win, Coven. It was a pleasure helping you. 8 says GG, 15 says GG, 7 says GG, I say GG. 8 says even though 7 was dumb as rocks. 15 says 6, I wanted you to win so bad, for real. I say oh, thank you 15. Here are all the roles that we've had in this game. Thank you so much for watching this video. Happy New Year. Here are the videos that might interest you. And see you soon in the next video.